18.3 million are out there walking the streets without classrooms. And yet, everybody is silent. A young lady dared to complain, and she was there weeping about the reality staring her in the face in Nigeria. Unless she's going to start doing runs or have some sugar daddy somewhere or do something else other than whatever she's being paid, she can't live on what she's getting, even from the government itself. She has to subsidize the government to serve Nigeria. And the only response Nigeria has to that is for people to be phoning her to threaten her. And that's okay.
So, my people, Mr. Dele Farotimi speaks on this trending news about this young, beautiful lady that cried out about this Tinubu government, the hardship Nigerians are going through. And it is as if everyone is kind of pretending no one is talking about it, while people are dying silently. And she said that Tinubu is a terrible president. She's a youth corporate, right? So because of that, NYSC now called her and kind of threatening her to take down the video. And everything that girl stated in that video is nothing but the truth. Just that what we normally said in Nigeria, that Nigeria is they can endure anything, they can adjust to any situation while people are really dying silently, my people. I think that girl just spoke the minds of many Nigerians. Even if you are living in Nigeria or you are living in abroad, like what is happening in Nigeria is affecting we all. I remember the 2010, 2012, 2013. If you are living in abroad, when you send like 50,000, 100,000 to your family, like within 1 month, no one is going to call you to, disturb you about money. But right now, when you send someone like 50,000, like within 2 days, the person needs to call you back. So this is how bad things are in Nigeria. So it is affecting every one of us. For me, that girl just spoke the minds of many Nigerians. So I don't know why this Tinubu government, have decided that they need to silence like our voices. They don't want anybody to complain, even if we are dying, like you need to endure it. Do you know the level of hardship in Nigeria? Do you know what Nigerians are passing through? Where do we go from here? Like, where do we go from here? How can he beat a child and you are warning the child not to cry? Like, how is it possible? Just listen to that particular video before we go to Dele Farotimi video, what he said concerning this matter as well.
I genuinely feel so overwhelmed, and I feel like if a lot of Nigerians come out and start speaking on what we are actually going through, then maybe changes will be made in the government. Don't you guys think? And this video, I just want to say to our president, I don't know if there have been any other president that is terrible, but you are such a terrible president. It is so hard. So I'm coming from the supermarket where I went to get foodstuffs, and everything has gone up again. It's just like every single week prices increase. I want to know, what is the government doing about this increment? Is there going to be a particular time where prices will stop going up? Is there going to be a particular time when things are going to go back? Guys, why am I going to get a crate of egg and they're telling me it is 6.5? It doesn't make any sense that egg will cost 6.5. Like, I literally can't remember when egg used to cost 800. And I'm so overwhelmed because this is literally my first time doing this adulthood thing alone. This is my first time moving out of my family house. This is my first time living by myself. And not just that, after I left the supermarket and I got home, my security is bringing NEPA bill, and NEPA bill has gone up by 2 times. Like, it's insane. I can't keep up with these bills. I am so overwhelmed and I'm so exhausted. Every single money that I have been making, I'm using it to pay bills. I don't even get to live properly. The craziest thing was, you want to go out to a certain location with your friends, and Uber is about 25,000. Like, even Uber, that we can't even take Uber. It is crazy. Like, why are things so expensive? And let's not even Lagos stinks. Lagos smells like shit. If you say, okay, I want to take a walk, I'm depressed, let me just take a walk, you can't even take a walk. Like, the place smells like crazy. Why does an entire state smell like this? And what is the government doing about the bad smell? Everything is just so overwhelming. You want to start up a business, and now you have to take a loan to start up a business, and the loan you don't even know if you can actually repay it, because the business, I don't know, I'm just so tired. Like, why is no one saying anything about it? Being an NYSC copper, there's nothing beneficial about this whole NYSC thing. The money I spend on transportation is just more than the alawi the government gives me. Like, it doesn't, I can't keep up. Like, I'm so tired of this bill and I can't keep up. I am overwhelmed and I'm tired, I'm exhausted. It's too much, and I wish that we would start calling the government out heads on. For example, Tinubu, you are a terrible president. Like, what are you doing to help us? What are you doing to help the economy? You are so terrible. I'm so sick and tired of Nigerians acting like we are strong, and they say, oh, Nigerians, we are actually very strong. Oh, no matter how much they increase things, we still chest it. No, it is not cute. We are cowards. That is a cowardly behavior. You don't stand to ask people, oh, why is this expensive? For example, MTN, what the fuck is even going on? Literally, I spend over like 20,000 on data in a week, and I'm not even joking. 1.5 data cannot even last me for an entire day. I have to do 1.5 like 2 times a day, which is like 3,000 a day. It is too much. Like, what are you guys doing about it? Like, what is happening? I'm tired of paying bills. I feel like I don't have anything. I feel like I don't have any achievement to call my own. Every single time that I work hard, I'm spending it back in the economy to pay bills, and I wasn't created to pay bills. I'm just really tired, and I just want our money to count for something. And when is the government going to actually start working? Because Nigerians are so classist. Everybody now wants to behave as if they are rich. Everybody is faking wealth. But we are ending up being poor because we are struggling so hard to look rich. We are ending up being poor. So I need us as Nigerians to please start calling the government out. We should be tired of this by now. We need to call the government out. Prices need to start one place. Food needs to start one place. The economy needs to start one place. Like, we are tired. It's just too much. The more you work hard to achieve something, the higher it gets. The dream car that I was saving money for has literally gone double. I can't even afford it anymore. Instead, I'm going to use my money to buy, to just keep paying bills. And now house rent is double. Like, I am so sick. And I'm so tired of this. And I really need the government to intervene because I am so overwhelmed. So guys, yesterday I made a video talking about the Nigerian government and how terrible President Tinubu is, and I was crying in the video. So 30 minutes ago, I just received a call from the NYSC board, starting with the secretariat before the LGI. And for the secretariat, for the NYSC secretariat, I'm going to attach what she said, some of the things she said, so you guys will hear.
Are you normal?
I wasn't insulting the president, ma. I was only asking for accountability.
Hold down that rubbish you put there.
Ma, are you threatening me?
Hold down that rubbish. You are not talking to your mate.
She called me and she was shouting and she was threatening me to take down the video. And I'm in my first mind, I'm like, wait, how did they get my phone number? And then I realized that every NYSC copper has to fill a file with your phone number and your address. I'm like, these people actually have my house address and they know where I'm staying. And now they have started calling me first to threaten me. It is so bad that you can't even just pick up about the government because they feel like they have chains to hold you. You're already calling me to threaten me. And this is, I will literally attach what she said so you guys can hear. She was telling me that I was insulting the president. I never insulted the president. I said he's terrible. That is not an insult. It is a statement, and I did not go on and start saying, oh, Tinubu, you're this, you're that. I just said he's a terrible president. And it's okay for a government, for a body to identify that, okay, this person is actually terrible at their job. So why is it a problem that the NYSC government, NYSC secretariat, or NYSC board will call me to threaten me? Like, why is that okay? That I can't speak up for something that is directly hurting me? Why is it okay that they will call me to threaten me under 24 hours that I made a video? Why can't Nigerians speak up? Why are they holding us in chains? Why do they feel like everything that we do, they have ways to control us? Let me tell you guys something, NYSC board or whatever. If you guys have come together and you like, maybe you're not calling me one by one to threaten me, that's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. Because I know that you guys already have plans. The one that this one is calling me, the next person is calling me, that's fine. But now I'm putting it out here so you guys will see and you guys will know. NYSC, they have my house address and they are started calling me to threaten me. So in case anything happens, you will be very much aware where the problem started. Because I did not say anything I shouldn't have said. The Nigerian government are not doing anything about the inflation that is happening, and it's causing us to be very depressed. I am depressed, and my bank account is going to zero, and I still have to live every day. And I'm asking the Nigerian government to do something about the inflation. And instead of me to get a call and say, okay, we are working on it, I'm getting a call saying that, oh, you're very stupid. Why did you do that to Tinubu? Take down that video. You did this, you did that. I just want you guys to know that this is what the NYSC board are doing. And in case anything happens to me, because they have my address, you guys know who to hold accountable.
Honestly, we are really in a big trouble in this country called Nigeria. Like where is the lie in what this guy said here about Tinubu government? Let's go ahead and listen to what Mr. Dele Farotimi said concerning this matter. I'm going to be right back.
And about the sustenance of evil and then a few good men. I would explain myself. If you took Edmund Burke's words, where he said that it's that for evil to triumph, good men must do nothing. So all we really need in Nigeria are a few good men. A few good men. A lot of times I find myself completely embarrassed by the reception I get either online when I run into those who will be effusive in their praises, just as I have people who are very effusive in their abuses. But those who are effusive in their praises will come to me and be like, if we have only 50 of you, if we have 10 of you, if every state has one of you, and I'm looking at these people and I'm saying to myself, you guys are actually bringing home the lesson that Christ was teaching when he asked his disciple, why do you call me good? I know as a fact, I guarantee you that I am not a saint. I am nobody's moral agent. I am not looking to be anybody's pastor. All I do at any point in time is I tell the truth that I see in my space. I have rarely ever been found at the head of any protest. I have never advocated that anybody bear arms. And let's be clear, I'm not a peaceful man. My insistence on non-violence is not a function of me being essentially peaceful. It's because I am weak. I don't have any guns. I got no guns. So I cannot confront those who are practitioners of violence and have the monopoly of arms. So I am weak. The only thing I can do is speak truth in the face of those who are carrying the guns and let it be clear to them by sheer force of my own moral strength. I'm not afraid of your guns, and I will speak to the truth of what I see. So the absence of fear for those who are bearing arms, the absence of fears for the consequence of the truth that is spoken, those are the only reasons why you have separated someone like me and you'll be pointing me out. But there are myriads of you who have equally lost the fear of the same things that I have, but you are merely not applying yourself in the direction that is beneficial to all. So I'm saying to you, what is it that Nigeria really needs for Nigeria to change? It just requires a few good men. Imagine there is a theory in sociology, in the study of society, they've come to the knowledge of one reality. There is what they call the theory of non-collapse. This morning I shared an essay I wrote, I believe about 3-4 years ago, where I said everything stinks. I shared it and I said, this is today's scripture. And what was it I was trying to point at? In Everything Stinks, I described how you become acculturated to madness the longer you tolerate the madness. And the point I am making is this. If we have not become so acculturated to madness to the point where our societal norms have collapsed, where we have now become accepting of even the worst of anomalies and we have normalized abnormalities, become acculturated to evil to the point where we are barely ever shocked by what is done to us or to our fellow victims. What is it about us that has us accepting of evil to the point where you have over 20 churches and mosques, but not one, a single one of them would dare to speak to the common good based on truth? How many pastors have spoken the way Thre spoke? Did she lie? If more people would speak as Thre has spoken, how many people can they phone to be threatening? How many people? Exactly how many people can they threaten? How many? It is when we are collectively silent that we isolate those whose voices we should be echoing and then render them as outliers, targets to be picked off by a self-sustaining system reinforced by our silences. Why are we accepting of evil? Why? Exactly what is it? So when they talk about us having 200 million Nigerians, for instance, even accepting of the fact that weaponized ignorance and weaponized poverty has overtaken Nigeria for generations now, at least 2 generations, have been afflicted by deliberate systemic weapons of ignorance and poverty. The system says it is capitalist, but there is no capital for anyone looking to do business. The infrastructure for entrepreneurs are simply not there. Our banks declare fantastic profit in an economy where they are not lending. So the question is, where are the feel-good men in the banking sector? Where are the feel-good men amongst the clergy? Where are the feel-good men in the universities and polytechnics? Where are the feel-good men in the trades? You look around and you're in the tube in London, and right there on the wall, decorating one of the many banners you see in the underground. Help children missing from school. Nigerian children missing from school. Where are the feel-good men speaking to this evil? Our senators, to even call them our, to own them, is self-libeling and self-denigrating. The senators and House of Reps members sat in Abuja, the governors, all those who pretend to rule the people, how can they possibly find any comfort in the knowledge that over 18 million children under the ages of 14, from ages 4.5 or 5 to 14, 18.3 million are out there walking the streets without classrooms, and yet everybody is silent? A young lady dared to complain, and she was there weeping about the reality staring her in the face in Nigeria. Unless she's going to start doing runs or have some sugar daddy somewhere or do something else other than whatever she's being paid, she can't live on what she's getting even from the government itself. she has to subsidize the government to serve Nigeria. And the only response Nigeria has to that is for people to be phoning her to threaten her. And that's okay. How many churches are going to protest against that kind of thing this morning? How many mosques have had something to say about that and would have something to say about that? Where are the few good men and women in this society of ours? Where are they? You got churches and mosques everywhere, and yet evil has become so prevalent. Exactly where? What is the purpose of your religiosities if you are by your silence complicit in the evil? Let's try and understand something. When you have a society that has come to illustrate normative collapse as our own has apparently done, it would take a few good men and women, people of good conscience, deliberately and intentionally speaking out against these evils for them to ever be reversed. If you continue to keep quiet in the face of these existential evils, to the point where the only thing that issues forth from what should be the last refuge of the common man are these obscenities. You call yourself an SAN, you are a retired jurist, and you are seeing this evil, and you are quiet, either because you profit from it or because you are complicit in it. Do you know what judicial anarchy does to a society? When the people lose confidence in the ability of the judiciary to give them justice, do you know? Look at Rivers State. Beyond the fact that it's a squabble of thieves, do you see what has been done to the judiciary in the pursuit of narrow interests? Are you looking? Do you understand the long-term consequences of the damages that have been done to the institutions? Do you guys even understand the fact that once men are dead and long gone, what they did in the name of institutions become part of that institution? What happens to the doctrine of stare decisis in the midst of this judicial anarchy? Where are the feel-good men in the judiciary? What has happened to them? The shameful religious institutions, particularly the Pentarascals, what has happened to you? What has become of you? Exactly what has become of you? How can a country go to the dogs like this and you are still speaking in the name of Christ? Mammon has become your God. You don't speak to the substance of what the people are dealing with, to the point where a young lady dared to speak to her pain, verifiable pain, and she could be victimized in spite of all of you. Shame on you. Where are the few good men? That a man is good does not mean he's free of sin. It simply means that he abides by the truth. Where are you? What has happened to you? How is it possible that today we can speak to finding more good men in the police than in the judiciary? Think about that. 99 out of 100 judges do not need to be corrupt for the judiciary to be corrupt. All it takes are just 5 corrupt judges out of 100. Just 5. And corruption is not necessarily about taking money. It's simply about not doing justice, whether because of your prejudices or because of your ignorance. So, where are the few good men? Why is it that, when a society progresses to the point where a man feels safer to label himself insane on account of what he would have to say, but that the society would rather not accept. It's not a function of him saying the wrong things, but because that truth might be more palatable to the hearer if they believe that the speaker is insane. What kind of society have we built? Exactly what kind of society? So I have come around this morning essentially to demand of you, stop looking for Voltrons, because it's not Voltrons that it will take to change our circumstances. Just be one of the few good men. Speak to the truth of the things you see. Stop allowing yourself to be blinded by ethno-religious idiocies. Just speak. Speak to the truth. The society is imploding because of the lies that we have accommodated. The society is collapsing. We actually illustrate non-collapse. Google it when we're done. Coach, take it out. Our society is imploding. And this should not be so. Yorubas will say, Okporo Kagbon. Not be about plenty talk. It's about me wanting to awaken you this morning to the need for you to become one of the few good men and women who have to catalyze the changes that Nigeria requires if it's not to implode. But as I've been saying for some time, if you do not know purpose, abuse becomes inevitable. All these atotoarere, the dogon turenchi, the constant talk, all day, all week, all night, the purpose to which I have given my life is to awaken you to the need to become citizens. I have no guns, and as I've explained to you, I'm not a peaceful man. I'm just a weak man. I have no guns, and I can't fight a man with guns, carrying guns. But I can fight him with the truth. And the truth is enough at any time. The truth is enough as a weapon, and it is sufficient as a shield. And the truth this time around is that the Nigerian state is forced to play the game of pretense. They have to pretend that we are in a democracy, and they have to pretend that we are citizens. And if we are going to have to sustain the pretense of a democracy and the illusion of citizenship, they also have to pretend to offer us those rights. So here is the one that I believe should be paramount to all of us, and it is the one that we are able to weaponize, the demand to have electoral reform. You cannot be in a democracy where your votes do not count. I am proposing that we keep two dates in mind. The 27th or 29th of May, when they have their fraudulent swearing in, and they used to call Democracy Day, that day, and the 12th of June. Either of those 2 days, definitely long before then, definitely before the end of this month, a citizens' bill for the reform of our electoral act would be placed before the National Assembly. Let us also have a program in place long before the 29th of May, or long before a date, where we pick a definite date on which to show our owners that we are serious about our demand for electoral reform. Before the end of this month, a definite date will be picked and it will be communicated. Without electoral reform, any talk of an election in 2027 is delusional. You see the politicians talking about alliances. The short one, that midget, the evil one, is busy talking about SDP and calling his fellows to come and join him there, you don't count in their equation. They are not looking to empower you. They are looking to gain power so that they can perpetuate this same evil system that has been self-sustaining. But for you to be of any consequence in the equation, your votes have to count. The system and its beneficiaries have to be afraid of losing power. And the only way that happens is when your votes begin to count. So let's be clear. Any talk of 2027, forget about it. Don't listen to that illusion. We did not lose in 2023 because we did not vote. We lost because our votes did not count. And when I say we, I'm not just talking about Peter Obi. I'm talking about all the different idiots who clung to his coattail to take themselves into the National Assembly, but who are today no different from them. Because if you recall, the second leg of the electoral reform that I am seeking, that we should all be seeking, aside from the part that is demanding that there should be automatic transmission from beavers to IREV. The second leg of the electoral reform is the one that demands independent candidacy. If we had independent candidacy and we were voting for people who are reflective of our own values, who will do our will when they get into the National Assembly, we will not have this kind of monkeys that are currently monkeying around in the place and have given the name real illustration when they say a Congress of baboons. That is what we have currently because people go into office without being known to the voters. People vote for parties, most of the time without knowing the candidates. If independent candidacy is allowed, a man who does not belong to PDP, LLP, PUPUPU, or any other party for that matter, but whose policies and politics align with that of the people in the location where he is looking to run, would dare to run and might very well beat the governing party simply because the people know him. These are rights of citizens. Independent candidacy was allowed in the First Republic. Why has it become an anathema 70 years later? Before the end of this month, the Citizens Bill will be introduced into the public space and one will be delivered to the National Assembly. Yes, it's largely a collection of people we would rather not deal with, but that is the process in front of us. And if our will must prevail, it will be because we queued behind it, recognizing it as being for the common good. Any talk of 2027 in the absence of electoral reform, real reforms, is a waste of time. It is the only way you'll be having the kind of silly hunger thoughts that you're having right now, and you'll be having the kind of drama you're having in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Your votes do not count. And they know this, and they will prefer to keep it that way. So if you want anything to change, be prepared to struggle for it. If you're looking to avoid violence in order to change Nigeria, be prepared to make some sacrifices. It might involve having to sit at home. It might involve having to just simply wear black on the day as a collective. It might just be some tokenist measure of protest, but it is critical that the system must be aware of exactly how we feel, and the system must be aware that we are capable of uniting. It is our unity they fear above all else. If we would dare to speak as a collective, they will not dare to do the things that they do to us. It is our division that emboldens them. A few good men up and down the length of Nigeria, speaking to their own people in their own languages, speaking to those that I can't even reach if I tried my hardest. A few good men are enough to change Nigeria. And I'm not forgetting the women. So Akpabio, Natasha, and us. That is only possible because we are not citizens. The people of Kogi, would have been deserving of representation if they were citizens. A few good men up and down the length of Nigeria would have prevented anyone from daring to phone Rai to be threatening her for speaking her truth. Just a few good men.
So my people, that is it. I hope you guys heard what Mr. Dele Farotimi said in this particular video, which he always speak true to the power and speak the minds of many Nigerians. Very, very sad situation in Nigeria. Nigerians are really, really suffering. The level of hardship is getting out of hand. I don't know what you think. I'll just leave you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about what this particular beautiful lady said concerning Tinubu government? Is Tinubu really a terrible president? And why are they so afraid of criticism? Because anybody that talk back against this government, you will see they'll just go after the person. Very, very sad. If indeed that we are practicing democracy, I think we have right to criticize the government, to cry out, and also tell the government like what is bothering us. If there is any solution, not to be threatening our life. This is really, really unfair. So my people, leave your thoughts in the comment section about what Mr. Dele Farotimi as well as this beautiful young lady said here. And also subscribe if today is your first time. Give this video a like. Thank you so much for doing so. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to